What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we're going to be bantering about the state of the 2023 San Francisco Giants. Now, before I get into my breakdown of the franchise, we have a corresponding article up on laracuenteledger.com. So links to that article are in the show notes below. So make sure you check that out. Now, we begin looking at the major acquisitions. And when it comes to the major acquisitions for the Giants, they were very busy this offseason, but they didn't do quite as much as they were hoping to do. They would bring in Mitch Haniger, Michael Conforto, Ross Stripling, Sean Manaea, and Taylor Rogers. These additions are going to be helpful for the Giants. I think that there is a lot to like about what these players can bring to this Giants staff. I think that the San Francisco Giants are going to be looking to get back to the postseason after missing out on it in 2022. I think there's an opportunity that San Francisco can truly use these players to the best of their abilities and get the most out of them going forward. I think that there is an opportunity that we see some real bounce back from some of these players. Obviously, Michael Conforto missed the entire 2022 season dealing with the lockout, the subsequent contract issues, as well as the health issues. So this is going to be interesting to see how it kind of plays out. If Conforto and Haniger can prove that they're healthy, this is very good additions for that Giants outfield. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Now, as we look at these significant injuries, Michael Conforto is the player that we're focused on. Obviously, this player missed an entire season and dealing with injuries as well as some contract issues. So there's going to be a time frame here where there's going to be a learning curve of sorts to reacclimate himself to that major league level speed of the way the game is played. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything is going to play out with Conforto in this upcoming 2023 season. Now, as we break down the top prospect here for San Francisco, it is Marco Luciano, a shortstop. This is a shortstop prospect that is going to have a very high hit tool. I think there's an opportunity that he likely gets moved off the shortstop position. That is what evaluators are speculating will happen. But there's no doubt about it that the offensive profile of this player is really something spectacular. And I think that for San Francisco, this could be a guy that they move to third base or even a corner outfield spot in the upcoming future. But there's no doubt that the bat will play for that San Francisco lineup. Now, when it comes to the bold prediction for the Giants, I believe that Logan Webb will finish in the top 10 in the National League Cy Young voting. I think there's a lot to love about the way that this pitcher goes about his work, and I think that there's an opportunity that San Francisco can really maximize their value on what Webb is able to provide. I think that for San Francisco, this is the guy that you're building your team around, the franchise star, the ace in that rotation. And I think there's an opportunity that 2023 really starts the breakout for this player. Again, a top 10 finish in the Cy Young is the bold prediction for the San Francisco Giants. Now, as we break down the divisional prediction in terms of where they will finish, it is third in the division. We have a corresponding article up on laracuenteledger.com and a video here on Baseball Banter Broadcast where we go into a bit more detail about it. But I think that for San Francisco, they are trailing the Padres and the Dodgers. I think that there is an opportunity that they may even falter behind the Diamondbacks, given how much the Diamondbacks have to offer going into this season. But I think that with the moves that San Francisco made, they will be able to hold themselves and maintain themselves in that third spot in the National League West division. It is an opportunity for them to potentially, progress and develop some talent and move past that. But I think the third place is where they finish. As we grade out the pitching staff for the San Francisco Giants, it is a B- grade overall. I think there's a lot to really like about this staff. Again, Logan Webb to me is going to be a guy that really has a breakout season in 2023, and a lot of it is going to be predicated. A lot of this grade is predicated on Logan Webb, and I think that there is an opportunity that, especially given the ballpark that they play in, that the Giants can have a very good pitching staff overall. Now, when we break down the offense, it is a C+ grade for me. I think that even with all the moves that were made this offseason to the offense, guys like Haniger and Conforto, I think that there's still more that needed to be done. Yes, obviously, the Giants were very much in on two of the top 5 free agents this offseason in Aaron Judge and Carlos Correa. But I think that San Francisco needed to have done more to insulate themselves after missing out on both of those players. To me, the division that they play in, with facing off against the Padres, who are significantly better, and the Dodgers, who are significantly deeper, this is going to be an organization that needed to do more, in my opinion. And I think that when you look at what their offense is going to provide, it's going to be a solid offense, but to me, it's going to be just slightly above average. I don't think that they really have the wherewithal and the fortitude within that lineup to be really able to compete at the level that the Dodgers have in terms of their offensive capabilities as well as their depth, and the same thing for the Padres. So I think that for the Giants, it's just above average with a C+ grade. Now, when it comes to grading out the offseason, it is a D+. Now, I say that with the caveat, the Giants did a lot to really improve their roster, no doubt about it. But when you fail to sign both Aaron Judge and Carlos Correa, both of whom were at one point reported, and sometimes falsely, about signing with the Giants, there are going to be serious doubts over what you did in the offseason. I think that there is a lot to like about the players that they brought in. I think that they can truly help them. And if it's just on the moves that were made and not the overall presentation and feeling of the offseason, the Giants likely would have a higher grade in this offseason grading system. But I think that when you look at the overall, they just did not do enough to really offset what they are faced with in that division. So I think the D+ grade is appropriate. Now, when we grade out the franchise as a whole, it is a C. I think that for San Francisco, this is an average organization going into 2023. I don't think that they have enough depth and the power within the lineup and the pitching staff overall to be able to surpass both the Padres and the Dodgers for the division. I also think that there are significantly better teams in the wild card hunt. Now, San Francisco will be involved in that mix, no doubt about it in my mind. But I think that when you look at what this organization is going to be facing between the wild card battles with the teams in the National League East, a couple of the teams in the Central, as well as their own division, this is going to be a very difficult season for San Francisco. And I don't think, like I just said, that they did enough to really boost their chances overall. I think that there are going to take some collapses by other teams for the Giants to move up on the list. So I think that overall, this is an average organization for the 2023 season. But I want to hear from you. Let me know, Giants fans, how are you feeling about your team's chances in 2023? Do you believe in the direction that this organization is headed? Obviously, they were willing to go out and spend a ton more money, but did not make that happen in terms of being able to acquire the players that they were first going after. So we'll have to wait and see kind of how things play out and progress for the Giants in 2023, but definitely interested to see how it all goes. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments, or you can find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball, and we can keep the conversation rolling. If you want to show more support, follow us on our other social media platforms, Instagram as well as TikTok, at Baseball Banter Broadcast. Again, corresponding article up on laracuenteledger.com if you want to check that out. We post new articles daily, mostly covering the world of Major League Baseball, but some other topics as well. And if you want to show more support for us even beyond that, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com. It is our merchandise shop, and you can show some support. We also have some promo codes that you can use to save on some Banter merch. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you're checking this out on this YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, as well as the bell for post notifications, as most of our audience is not yet subscribed to this channel. So we are looking to grow this baseball community, this baseball family. So hitting that subscribe button is the best way to help that grow and become possible. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, I want to thank you. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review, as it does a huge service for us as we continue to try to grow this baseball community. So thank you once again for tuning in. Keep it locked in all season long as we continue to cover this beautiful world of baseball. Peace.